We've been reporting on the issue of water in our area, or for better terms, the lack thereof. And Pro News 7's Chanel Douglas joins us tonight with part one of that special report on water wasters. Chanel?
Lindsay, water is something many tend to take for granted. Whether leaving your sink running while brushing your teeth or even letting your shower run while it warms up, we're all victims of wasting water. But living in the Texas Panhandle, there's a depleting water supply.
You know, we have ultimately lost Lake Meredith. It was built back in the 60s and supplied our water for a long time, and it is down to basically inoperational.
Well, certainly the impact of the depleting water supply has affected all sectors, whether that be a homeowner within a city or the agriculture producer out there in the field.
Water is diminishing, yet usage is increasing more and more as the weather continues to get hotter.
The aquifer that we get our water from, hundreds of years spent collecting that, and we're going through it pretty quick.
And a lot of that water is going straight into our lawns.
I think the biggest problems we see is people overwatering. We see people watering 3 and 4 times a week when really 2's probably adequate, maybe 3 if you have a cool weather kind of a grass. It's not a bad idea to start your watering after 10 p.m. and finish it up by 6 a.m. And I understand not everybody has a sprinkler system on a timer, but when possible, those are the best times.
And while the city advises residents on when it's best to water their property, driving around during the middle of the day, you can see sprinklers running, something that does nothing but waste water.
Well, half of that is lost to evaporation. It's not a good use of our water.
On average, the city is expected to use 60 million gallons a day. Despite the amount of water used on a day-to-day basis, the city says things are still well enough not to go into drastic measures.
I don't see us going to mandatory measures. I don't see that kind of extreme high usage. We'd have to be using like 90+ million gallons per day in order to look at restrictions, even voluntary restrictions.
Although water restrictions may not be in our immediate future, being conscious of water usage is something the city is still requesting of residents. Trying to convince local residents to be mindful of their water usage has been the mission of the city of Amarillo.
We need to be very conservative because if you look at other cities like Lubbock and San Angelo and Odessa and Midland, they're struggling. They're on severe water restrictions right now, and we're able to kind of continue to operate as we have in the past, but we've got to understand this needs to last us for 100 years, 150 years.
Join us tomorrow night for part 2 as I take a look at some of the companies that are the top water users in our area and their efforts, if any, on cutting back on their supply. Lindsay, back to you.